It is finally time to start on the entryway canopy. Okay guys, we've been waiting a long time for this. It took a lot of planning, a lot of decision making. The first thing that we're going to have to do is install the brackets on either side of the column that'll hold the 8x8 post. I'm going to spin the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, as you can see, we are using a steel bracket and the post will sit in the middle of this. We're going to have to anchor it down. Going to have to do some grinding to get a nice level surface on there, and then we'll start with the 8x8 post. So we're using a product by Osco. This is a product, I think you've seen this brand probably in Home Depot. You can get it on Amazon. Really nice quality product, heavy steel. Yeah, there's the address right there. So anyway, I'm familiar with the brand. I've used it before. I'm actually being very consistent. I'm going to use this brand through the entire project on the rafters and clips that I'm going to be using. So let's get to grinding and getting this leveled out. All right, so my first step was to center each post, which we did, and then I'm marking the area that I feel is high on the stone. You'll see over here I've marked where there's a bulge in that stone. I wish I had prepped a little better on this column. If I had known what I was going to do, I probably would have had a nice flat spot for me going into it. Of course, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I am going to grind down the stone to accommodate. All right. The post brackets are marked and they're ready to start grinding the area flat. I'm going to use my trusty angle grinder with a concrete grinding attachment wheel on it. This one's a little worn, but I think it'll get the job done. So I'm not sure exactly how to tackle this. I might just jump up on top of the column and go for it. But don't forget safety glasses. Here we go. All right, here's what I know. I know that this side is high, and I can tell that by leveling the product. You can see I've got quite a bit of gap over here, probably about a ½ inch. So I know I'm going to have to take this area down about a ½ inch just to get it level. Now I'm going to be doing this a little bit at a time. I'll be moving, checking, and checking again and again and again. So let's get started. It would help if I plugged it in. All right, everybody, it's time to raise these big 8x8 posts right here. They are gonna get kind of shoved up onto the roof like that, and then we're gonna stand it up. This is only gonna be temporary because we're gonna have to take them back down, stain them. I gotta mark where I'm gonna be notching them for the beams going across. And anyway, so this should be interesting. All right, well, we have got everything temporarily braced. We're gonna call it a day. We will be pulling these down. Once we get our dimensions in place, we want to scribe and mark where everything's gonna go. We're gonna pull all this down and then stain everything and reassemble it. Stay tuned. Well, good morning. It is a beautiful weekend, and we're gonna get started off by mounting the roof beam. But first I'm gonna have to measure off. I've got 4 standoffs that I'm gonna mount, and then we'll mount the beam. All right, well, we're gonna keep this 3 inches off this front face here. I've got my center mark right there. So we're gonna drill a pilot hole, but before we fasten it all the way down, we're going to use this solar seal. This is what we use to seal up a lot of the stuff on the roof here, so it'll make for a weather tight seal. We're going to get started on that now. Okay, now comes the time to determine the angle of this. Basically, we want to find the pitch of this. So straight up and down would be a 90 degree, and this little bubble right here will tell you where that is. Once we find our 90, I'm going to pull it back until I hit 85. So I am now gonna try to lock this down without moving it. Now I may have to adjust it depending on how this thing looks, but for the most part, I think I'm gonna be happy. The angle has been set on the beam. We've already marked the post for the 5 degree or 112 pitch that we're gonna have on here. Made a couple other marks for this horizontal right here, or this kind of diagonal. That's actually gonna be a timber. That's just a temporary brace holding it on, but I've made the marks. So we're gonna pull this whole thing down, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be cutting and notching these 2 vertical beams, and then we'll get ready to do the whole reassembly. Good morning. So we pulled down all of the beams and the temporary braces, and now we've got to cut that upper beam. We've got to notch it, cut the top down, and notch it in 2 different places. So we've got to do that on both beams, and I'm going to get started on that right now. I've already drawn some cut lines, but I have not carried them down. I want to make sure that I'm cutting everything square as possible. So I'm going to need a visual reference as I'm cutting through. So I'll make all these reference marks, and then I'm going to go grab my chainsaw, because that's how I'm going to cut this, and we'll get started. Good cut. I'm gonna make my next cut here. This is a hard edge to see, especially when wood chips are flying in your face. So I'm gonna use some blue painter's tape here to kind of guide me. And the cut's gonna be here. So this will just kind of help me to where I am not getting off track. Not necessarily the most conventional way of doing it, but it's the way I'm gonna do it. All right, not bad. Got off a little bit, but it's inside, it'll be hidden. Those doubles will sit right here. Okay, this notch is going to be a little bit different. This is going to accept a 4x6 beam, and my goal is to only plunge it down 2 inches, so half of the beam is sunk in and half is sticking out. That'll kind of match what we've done over here on the other end. So I'm not going to use a chainsaw on this. I'm going to use a circular saw and see how that works out. I feel like I'm going to make a series of cuts here. It's the way I would normally do it. The gauge is already set down at the 2-inch mark, so I can't go below it. But so I'm going to do a lot of what they call kerf sawn cuts through here, and then I'm going to use a hammer and chip it all out. We just knocked out staining the 2 uprights and the diagonal support posts. So we're gonna carry those over. We're gonna get those installed tonight, get them secured, and then we'll do the big horizontal beam the next day. Alrighty, we got the first post up and the support beam. From this angle, you can't really see that it's at an angle. Let me go over here. So, there we go. We're gonna do the second one right now. That was a little challenging for me, balancing on the ladder, but couldn't have done it without Jana. We got the other beam up and the stabilizing member. It looks great. We're really happy with it. It's getting dark out here, so the next thing that we're gonna do is put that big cross beam up at another time when we are ready. Not right now. All right, well, I'm supposed to be waiting on Jana because she doesn't think I can do it without her. But I'm going to take this 18-foot board and put it way up there. Well, that would have been way, 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 way easier with Jana helping me. If you ever hear me say I instead of we, unsubscribe. No, don't, please don't, because I'll make a mistake. But honestly, I can't tell you how much I appreciate my wife, Jana. She's always there for me, and that was a real struggle by myself. All right, the hat is on backwards. That's what you do when you're 50 years old and you want to feel 25. We have got to get some energy and knock out the structure, the roof structure of this portico. So we're going to jump on that right now. We decided we're going to add a little eyebrow to the front, which is a little kind of an arcing thing, not upward arc, but outward arc. So we've got to lay out all of the 2x6s, make our mark for where we're going to cut it, and then cut, stain, let the stain dry, and put it up. Let's get going. Okay, so Jana is frantically staining all of the rafters, and Mom is bossing us around. No, she's not. She's enjoying herself and taking care of Tink. So I am going to get ready to start putting the rafters up there. Wish me luck. All right, well, we have finished.
Oh, no.
We have finished.
I didn't finish, you finished, and it's gorgeous.
Mama helped me finish.
So proud.
Mama helped me finish.
That's a baby. So
Now
proud.
the only thing we have to do is put the roof on and we will be set.